Yeah, they mentioned that.
Good luck.
Get it all done. He said, this ain't gonna work. He said, "There's nothing else we can do."
Good evening and welcome to the Citizens Forum. It is December 3rd, 2020. It is 6:45. So I call this forum to order. We have two speakers. You will each have 3 minutes each to speak. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. First we have up Mr. Larry Lanker.
Evening, Mayor, Alderman, Vice Mayor. My name is Larry Lanker. I live at 112 Tulip Poplar Drive here in Laverne. And I put together a whole bunch of numbers that I know you all probably have already looked at about these impact fees. And I was trying to figure out, and I don't have all the information you all have to judge, only what I can read and what little bit I can gather from speaking. And all the numbers I put together all of a sudden didn't matter when somebody brought to my attention. It doesn't matter what the cost of the house is. Even on the greatest of all the numbers that were mentioned in the newspaper article, the $6,680 impact fee, which is only $53.73 more than what we would, what would be paid on a new property now. If you divide that out over 360 payments, that's $14.93 a month. Personally, if you can't afford another $14.93 a month, you probably should not be buying a house. And that's just my take on that. And comparing ourselves to Murfreesboro and Smyrna, I don't think that's fair, because we're not Murfreesboro, we're not Smyrna, we're Laverne, and we need to do what benefits us as a community. And that's really all I have to say. One other time I was up here and I spoke, I left with a quote from George Patton, General George S. Patton. And somebody says they've never forgot the quote. So I brought another one with me tonight. And it says, "Never tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do, and they will surprise you with their ingenuity." Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Mr. John Skinner.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, distinguished Alderman, thank you for allowing me to speak to you. Of course, you know why I'm here. I watched the workshop on the stream the other day, and I appreciate those of you who did speak up for us. I realized that yeah, y'all are in a very precarious position. You have been threatened with legal action if you do not approve the subdivision. One of the things I wanted to bring to your attention for going further is our subdivision regulations, in particular 2-101.4 has to do with flood and flooding areas. Most of the verbiage at the end of it relate to the Planning Commission. As I was reading it, there was only maybe 1-2 things on there that would not apply. All the others I felt did. I would like for y'all to look at that in particular. And like I said, this was supposed to have been through the Planning Commission. Evidently, the Planning Commission dropped the ball on these. It was allowed to go, and they said, well, hey, they've already gone this far, let them continue, let them finish. I don't like the finished results. I do not like it one bit. I'm still in a flood zone, which has increased. The city of Laverne, if I'm not mistaken, used the 2008 flood zone map. The news article that ran the other day, last week before last, showed if you put in your address that my property is now well in the flood zone. It has increased that much. I would like for you to look at that. I'm waiting to hear from TEMA right now as to exactly what the new flood zone, or if they're going to do a new map, which I feel that they should, and I was pretty implicit about that. I feel that they should, because it is only going to get worse. I do not see it getting any better unless things are changed. What? I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I don't like the answers that I got from everybody involved with this so far. But I would like y'all's attention to this matter, please. You know, if you have enough time before you start your meeting, pull it up, look at it. It's a very short read. It's only 2 pages. I've already read it. I've looked at it, and I would have gotten it to you if I'd have found it sooner today. But if you would, please look at that. And I'm pleading that, you know, you do what is right. And I do realize that there is a difference between what is legal and what is right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And with that, I will close out the citizens forum, and we will begin the meeting at 7 p.m. Good evening, and welcome to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen Meeting. It is December 3rd, 2020, and it's 7 p.m. Call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. If everyone would please rise for the prayer and the pledge. Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, we just ask that you would put your hand on our community and bless it. Be with those that are in need and that are hurting. Watch over us, keep us safe. In your name we pray, Lord. Amen. Amen. And then the Girl Scouts will lead us in the prayer or in the pledge.
All right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, ladies.
Good job, ladies.
Now moving on to the order of business. First will be oath of office ceremonies for Alderman Coates, Alderman No, and Alderman Waldron. Alderman Coates, I believe you're up first.
We're doing this alphabetical order, I believe. If you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me, you'll note that they put little red lines in here so I know when to slow down, okay? That's good. Mr. Waldron remembers that, probably, yeah. I, Graham Coates,
I, Graham Coates,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
to support the Constitution and the laws
to support the Constitution and the laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and the laws of the State of Tennessee
and the Constitution and the state laws of Tennessee
and the Charter and ordinances
and Charter and ordinances
of the City of Laverne,
of the City of Vergne,
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
as Alderman of
as
the
Alderman
of the City of Laverne
of the City of Laverne
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
Mr. No, I believe. All right, raise your right hand. I, Steve No,
I, Steve No,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
to support the Constitution and the laws
to support the Constitution and the laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and the laws
and the Constitution and the laws
of the State of Tennessee
of the State of Tennessee
and the Charter and ordinances
and the Charter and the ordinances
of the City of Laverne,
of the City of Laverne.
that I will faithfully
I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
as Alderman of the City of Laverne
as Alderman of the City of Laverne
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
Mr. Alderman, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I just have to do this. Are you back?
I'm back.
Okay. Raise your right hand. I, Dennis
I,
Waldron,
Dennis Waldron,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
to support the Constitution and the laws
to support the Constitution and the laws
of the United States
of the United States,
and the Constitution and the laws
Constitution and the laws
of the State of Tennessee,
State of Tennessee,
and the Charter and ordinances
Charter and ordinances
of the City of Laverne,
of the City of Laverne.
that I will faithfully
I will faithfully,
and impartially
impartially,
discharge the duties of my office,
discharge the duties of my office
as Alderman of
As
the City of
Alderman.
Laverne
as Alderman of the City of Laverne,
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Then next, we have the approval of the minutes. Need a motion to approve or deny.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay. One and 3 in favor, 1 abstention. Department reports. Fire Department, Chief Beasley.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Alderman. You have a copy of the report for the month of November in front of you. You can see we have an uptick in runs, a little bit more busy than we were last time this year, or this time last year. Looks like we'll be a little bit ahead at the end of the year where we were, projections. But our run response times are staying under the NFPA standards, so we're doing a good job. Y'all have any questions?
Just glad to see that going down.
Absolutely.
Going further and further down, so that's always good.
Wait a minute, Mr. Beasley. No questions, but I do want to comment.
Yes, sir.
We had an elderly lady out in Woodland Hills. Man, she had ghosts in her house and fire alarms going off. We couldn't get them straightened out.
Yes,
And she called, or Mr. Beasley called her. They took fire alarms out to her. And she thinks that you guys are just, she's ready to cook all of you's dinner and everything. And I just wanted to say, personally, thank you all so much for going out there and taking care of her. I really appreciate that.
Well, a big part of what we do is to prevent fires, prevent life loss. That's much better than responding after the fact. So if we can do that ahead of time and put those alarms up, it's definitely a life-saving measure that changes lives all over the country.
And Chief, how do people sign up for that program?
They can call to the business number at the Fire Administration, or they can go online to the website, and there's an application online.
And for those watching right now, what's that phone number?
I'm going to give you my cell number. How about that? 615-417-3404.
Thank you, sir. And then one other thing, I heard your firemen, along with police, did a little bit of good work over at Sonic recently.
Yes, sir. I won't mention that we collected more money for that than the police officers did.
I'm sure police appreciates that.
But it was a good day and it was a good service, and the troops really enjoyed it. I feel like we made a contribution to the city, so it was a good night.
Was this your first time of meeting Summer Williams?
Yes, sir, it was.
What'd you think?
Oh, we had a blast.
She's something else, isn't she?
It's a great facility and wonderful people that work
I
there.
wish all the businesses in Laverne would interact with the community like she does.
It's a great service. I believe we'll be back on the 12th.
Yes, I heard the Grinch will be out.
The Grinch will be out.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Chief, on the fire smoke alarms, the fire department will come out, put them in, and furnish the fire smoke detectors.
Yes, sir. We furnish those free of charge, and we'll install them where needed. So
I
we'll
thought
take
that's
an
what y'all
assessment of your home, put them in the right places in the hallways and the sleeping areas outside the kitchen. So we'll appropriately assess the house and apply them where they need to be.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Police Department, Chief Davis.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Alderman, you would see I've submitted the crime summary for our most serious crimes that happened in the month of November. Three things I'd like to point out on that. Theft of motor vehicles are still up. Domestics are up, as well as just our general theft. To combat that, since I've been in an interim position, I have started two initiatives to grant overtime in the hot spots that you all have in your packet for the thefts, and also a Governor's Highway Safety Office grant for also visibility and traffic enforcement in those same areas. So we have two opportunities to try to combat crime out there. As a result, as you can see, the 29 cases of motor vehicle theft, 28 of those vehicles were unlocked, which means we want to encourage people to park smart and lock their doors. And as a result, about $6,000 worth of items were stolen, and one weapon was stolen out of a car on that. So that now that we have another firearm out in the community that we have to find them. Secondly, we did have a good time out at Sonic, the car hop. That was my first time meeting Summer as well in that capacity. Fire cheated, but at the end of the day, we raised it right at $2,000 worth of tips. And Alderman knows his vehicle was full from front to back with canned goods, so it served the purpose for that particular day. And then lastly, you all know we lost a K-9 officer, Jacques, and we had the memorial service for him on the 1st. We had a beautiful service. I want to thank everybody for supporting us during that time period. I think our furthest communication came in from Australia. So we appreciate it, and great job for her helping me through all the news and media and different things like that. But we just appreciate the love and support from the community and from the city. Any questions?
What do we want to encourage residents to do with their vehicles at night?
For one, lock your vehicles when you leave. And in the morning time when you want to warm up your car, just make sure that lock your doors, have a spare key to where if you do want to warm up your car, lock it so somebody can't get in and drive off with it. But definitely parking smart, taking all valuables out of the car, and making sure your door's locked. And if you have any weapons in the car, please take them inside.
Chief, can you talk to us a little bit about the substation and what's going on there?
Yes, substation. So we have the substation out in Lake Forest, and I'm opening it for two reasons. For one, I want the police department back in the community. So we have a second location for citizens to come and get support. Also, Sergeant Eubank could contest to this. Their office, the K-9, is in the office with them, and they're very crammed up. And I felt like with the pandemic going on that I needed to create some space. So I'm moving the K-9 officers out to the substation. That way we can have it manned and have K-9 out there, and maybe could create some other space for some other positions to go out there as well. So it'll be open soon. There's some repairs we got to make to get it back reopened, but that'll be a second location for citizens to go and file complaints. And there's a park behind it. They can feel safe at the park and just meet a K-9 guy. So they're pretty popular these days.
Wonderful. Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Moving on, Parks and Recreation.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board, thank you. You guys have the parks numbers for this past month. It seems like we were just here a couple of weeks ago. You see your help desk tickets, the man hours, a couple of projects that we got accomplished, installed some water fountains at the PD, rebuild several backflows. I think we mentioned the flooring last time. We finished that up in finance a couple of weeks ago, or in water billing. Upcoming events this Saturday is our Parade of Lights. Starts at 6 p.m. We'd like to invite everybody out. I think you'll enjoy it, have a good time. No meetings in the month of December. Any questions?
David, what all is going to be going on here at City Hall after the parade?
City Hall will be the Choraliers. We're going to come out, sing a couple songs. I'll sing the national anthem, a few Christmas songs. tree lighting, fireworks. Senior Center will be here on site, giving out cookies, hot chocolate. We're gonna try to pull that off the best we can. Social distancing, we're gonna have masks, gloves. Touching will be held to a minimum. The items will be placed on the table for the citizens to come up and get them. So I think we can pull that off. Santa Claus will be here, Mrs. Claus, so there will be photo opportunities for that. Safe and social distancing taken into place. We will have our sanitizers out. So I think we will have a good time. I think the weather's gonna cooperate. Looks like it's gonna be cold, but that's what we're looking for.
Any questions?
Who's doing the fireworks this year?
B&B is still doing the fireworks for us for the parade, Christmas, they always do that. I know there has been some ownership change there, but they still jump in and help us out.
That's a good deal.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Moving on to the library. It's Donna Bebout.
Mayor, Vice Mayor Aldermen, good evening. You will notice that I provided October and November statistics for you since I was absent last month for the October. One thing I'm really proud about, our attendance is going up, and also our circulation, our holiday program, reading program has really helped that tremendously. The circulation for November was 3,151. That's only 940 shy than last November before the pandemic. So we feel very, very good that people are feeling more comfortable in coming out and getting items. We're still doing curbside to keep people safe, and that has been very helpful. Our holiday reading program will end with our final gift card drawing on Friday, December the 18th, and we want to say a very special thank you to all of our program participants. We have a special event for December, and it's going to be presented by the Laverne Library and Laverne Parks and Recreation Department. It's called Cruising by Santa. Now, in the past, we always had Magic with Santa, where we would have a magic show, and the magician would make Santa and Mrs. Claus appear. Well, this year, in order to keep socially safe and everyone as safe as possible, this was a great idea that was come up by David. And so what we're going to do, we're asking that families join us behind the library at Bicentennial Pavilion on Saturday, December the 12th, anywhere between 11 and 1 in their vehicle. They will enter through City Hall, go around by the ballpark, and then come around to Bicentennial Pavilion. And they will be able to safely cruise by and see Santa and Mrs. Claus, and they will be waving from a very cozy snow globe. Now, families are welcome to make a quick stop at the snow globe to take a photo. Then they'll get back into their car, they'll move on down, and our library and park staff will give them some special treats, and that's while supplies last. We think it's going to be a fun day. We want to bring that joy in, and we want to give the children the opportunity to have that joy of Santa and Mrs. Claus. So looking forward to that. Any questions?
Sounds like a fun time.
It does.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Water treatment plant, Mr. Greg Purcell.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board. In the month of November, the water treatment plant treated 88 million gallons of water, delivered 64.6 million gallons to the citizens of Laverne. That is an average of 3 million gallons a day treated and 2.2 million gallons a day delivered. The reason for that number being lower than normal for the delivered and treated is we still are, running on one side of the plant, and we are getting water from neighboring community to help supplement what the plant's going through right now. The TOC removal for the month of November was 42.9%. The required removal is 15%, so it's 2.9 times better than the required. In the month of November, we collected 42 bacteriological samples. The minimum that we were supposed to collect are 40, and all of those were negative throughout the system. Just an update, the maintenance cap is at 85.4%. That cap does end at the end of January 2021. We have 9 employees on site at the plant. We're still seeking a utility tech position. And we had 9 customer complaints in the month of November. 2 were pressure related, 6 were from discoloration. Each one of those, it had air in the line, and that was due to the tanks being low while we were struggling at the beginning of the plant upgrade. And then 1 was a chlorine smell, just needed to flush the dead end their residence. If any citizens have any questions about their water or have any concerns they want to bring up, they can call 615-793-6536. Press option 2, you'll get the water plant. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to Public Works Department, Mr. Garland Russell.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Alderman. This is for the month of November. Slowed down a lot. Been doing a lot of maintenance work, getting our equipment ready to go if we ever have any snow, which I hope we don't. Got plenty of salt for it if it does come. We slowed down some on our inmates on the days that it's cold, raining, where we're only getting a couple, so we just call them and tell them we're not coming on the bad days. Other than that, we're still staying busy. In the shop, they've done 26 vehicle repairs, 24 of them was in-house and 2 was outsourced, 17 preventive maintenance, and for the fire department, they had 6 work orders with a total of 11 hours. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you, sir. Utilities Department.
He won't be here.
Yeah, he's on that sewer issue.
Okay, let's move on to Human Resources. Cheryl Lewis-Smith.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Aldermen. Here is the report for Human Resources. I'm proud to say we completed our employee benefits open enrollment meetings, coupled with the compliance boot camp training and health, wellness, and safety tips. We put a lot of checks and balances into place to ensure the success of this year's open enrollment process. The employees experienced a wonderful Thanksgiving meal celebration with food being distributed to each city building. We found a way to pull it off in spite of the pandemic. I would like to thank everyone who supported us in this endeavor, whether it was shopping, prepping for food pickup, delivery service, etc. It was greatly appreciated. And I'm happy to announce that we are in the planning stage for our next employee activity, and it's important to provide ways to our employees to say thank you for their efforts and to recognize their years of dedicated service. So we'll be providing the service award recognition as usual, and we're honoring 5-year incremental service years accordingly. So that is our report. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Moving on to old business, second reading ordinance 2020-18, an ordinance to amend the impact fees in the city of Laverne. I'm going to motion to deny. Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? Alderman Coates?
I'd like to do the discussion if I could, please.
Okay.
I'd like to talk about this, so I want to get everyone's opinions. It's the right forum to do this. So, we were initially at the 30, and I think Steve was at the 100, so I'm just trying to get at what everyone else is at so we can see if we can, quote, compromise.
Well, where I've been at for the last 2 months is more middle ground. I think 50% is a good starting point. I think it's something that we can go back and review on at next fiscal year, and we can make that determination as far as I think it gets us up to where we should be current level. I've been in talks some with the mayor of Murfreesboro as far as where they're going with theirs, or where they believe they're going with theirs. We know Smyrna is going to be doing a study. So we want to be competitive. At the same time, we want to be fair to our residents.
Mr. Waldron, I mean, obviously you've been involved with this. You'd like to give us your thoughts and ideas on this?
Well, I'm gonna abstain on this because I wasn't a group on the first reading. So, I'm gonna abstain from it because, we had another alderman sitting in my position on the first reading. So that's where I'm gonna stand on it.
Ms. Brown, what's your thoughts? Are you willing to compromise a little bit, or what's your thoughts or ideas?
I agree with what Mr. Linker said, that $15 added to your monthly mortgage probably shouldn't make that big of an impact in your monthly budget. But where I'm at with it is that these increases are already requiring our residents, our future residents, to go into further debt without any notable increase in their home or the home's value, and without a substantial increase in the city's ability to complete these capital projects that they would like. It's not going to be a significant amount to the city, in other words, but it is going to be a significant amount of debt incurred to our residents, our future residents. So I still want to be very conservative when we make this.
At 50%, would you consider that as conservative, or you're more on below 50%?
I'm in agreement with the 30% that I voted aye on the last reading.
Because obviously with Mr. Waldron not participating tonight, with there's four of us, and obviously that makes it an awkward situation, what's going on. For myself, from the Planning Commission standpoint, the first note is that it's obviously been a long while this has been coming, and I've been on the Planning Commission many years, as you all know, and to be starting doing this now is obviously, a little late, but we've got to try and do what we can do, what we've got going. The second issue is at the moment, the amount of single-family homes that we've seen through the Planning Commission has dwindled this year to almost nothing. We saw some in January and February. We've seen nothing since March through this last month. So I think we need to be somewhere in the middle to make it work, not only for the movement forward of the city, but also to have the funds for the police and other departments to act as they need to get with the equipment that they do need. So with that, we have a first and second. I just want to know if the motion made by the mayor, if it would be acceptable to go to 50%.
Yeah, the motion would be if we could go to 50%, is that correct?
Well, you made a motion to deny it, so then we had a discussion, so would you reverse your resolution to say to go to 50%?
Wouldn't we have to deny it first and then go back and make a motion for the 50%?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Without a vote? We didn't have a vote?
Well, so there was a motion made, a second, and discussion, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that is on the table, and that has to be voted up or down before any other motion, unless the person who made the motion wants to withdraw it and the second wants to withdraw.
We could withdraw it or amend it, is that correct?
Yes, sir, correct. But there has to be a motion to amend the motion, the chief motion. The motion of the chief has to be amended.
Well, I will then, will motion to amend my motion to approve at 50% of the suggested rate for roads and for roads and parks, police and fire still at 100%, and for it to take effect after being advertised on the first of the following month.
Okay, now the mayor needs a second on his amended motion.
I'm going to second that motion.
Okay?
Second, so now we can have a vote on the amendment to the motion in chief.
Okay. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
It's obvious I'm not going to get my 100%, so I'll at least get 50, so I'll vote aye.
Alderman Waldron.
Abstain.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Nay.
I vote aye. So the amendment passes. We still have to now vote on that.
Correct, now we're back on the motion in chief,
Okay.
as amended.
So the motion as amended, Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Now, is the amendment with the agreement 50%, and then look at it again in 12 months?
We're able to look at it at any time, now that we have a study.
If you look at the ordinance where it's written, section 11I, page 25, is reviewed every year.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron,
Abstain.
Vice Mayor Brown.
No.
I vote aye. Motion passes. Second reading ordinance 2020/-19, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2020-2021 general fund budget. Need a motion to approve or deny?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Alderman
I
No.
think everybody was still kind of floating around on the input.
I'll second that. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron.
Abstain.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
I vote aye. Second reading passes. So second reading ordinance 2020-20, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2020-2021 stormwater fund budget. Our motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second from Alderman Coates. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron.
Abstain.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
I vote aye. Second reading ordinance 2020-21, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2020-2021 water and sewer fund budget. Our motion to approve. Is there a second?
I second.
Second from Vice Mayor Brown. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron.
Abstain.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes. Second reading ordinance 2020-22, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2020-2021 police impact fee fund budget. Our motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second from Alderman Coates. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron.
Abstain.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
I vote aye. Second reading ordinance 2020-23, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2020-2021 Parks Capital Projects Fund budget. Our motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman No. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron.
Abstain.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes. Resolution 2020-18, a resolution to accept Lakewood Subdivision Phases 7, 8, 9, and 10. This received a favorable recommendation at the October 27th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Vice Mayor Brown. Is there a second?
Second for discussion.
Second from Alderman No for discussion. I'll open the floor.
Not so much a discussion, just a comment, and I talked with Evan a little bit. And I know, excuse me, I know that there is a fine line between doing what is governmental correct and the laws and regulations, but at the same time, I think there's another fine line between the people who may or may not be affected by a big hard rain on this. But I guess it boils back to planning, engineers. We have to believe in our engineers and planning and codes, and they say they fixed everything. So it's a tough situation, and I understand Mr. Skinner's way of thinking. I really do, but I also know there's legalities. So, do you vote with your heart or your mind or a combination?
Well, I do want to bring up, since it was brought up at the Citizens Forum, I asked our city attorney, Mr. Cope, and our city administrator, Mr. Richardson, to pull up the portions that were referenced there, and what it specifically is, it's referring to the Planning Commission, and it specifically states that, not the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. And it actually goes even further back if you read through it, because it's talking about the plat. So this plat for this project was done sometime in 2016, 2017, I would assume, if not before then, with that Planning Commission. And it states that when the Planning Commission is reviewing it and gives the Planning Commission that ability to disapprove it at that point. So I do want to let you know we did look at that. When it comes to new flood maps, We actually were all in discussion with that, with some of our state counterparts when they were looking at that, right as COVID was coming in at the beginning of 2020, and there were some public forums that they were looking at across Rutherford County to go through the new maps, and sadly that's been delayed just due to all of the closures, as well as trying to come up with a safe way for the community to have those meetings to address homes that were added to the flood zones and homes that were taken out, so that they know and what options they have. As soon as we have that information, when they're going to start with those meetings again, it will be made public so that people can attend. It's just, right now, they're on hold with anything, with all of this due to COVID, which we see for many things throughout the community.
So was all that stuff started before or after the problems that the Skinners had? Has that stepped up a notch as far as making their place worse, or about the same?
I've not looked at the flood maps since, I would say, maybe February, what they were proposing and some of the changes, and most of it was just hard numbers. It wasn't showing whole sections of what was affected, so I don't have the information to be able to tell you yes or no either way.
Let me just fill in here, being part of the Planning Commission. This was done in October 2017. I signed the plat. It's been through the procedures and the policies. It's a difficult decision for everybody. I understand Mr. Skinner. I have worked with both Ms. Skinner and the developer to try and resolve the issues as best we could. And I just got to say, it's tough, but I think at this stage of the game, we've done everything we can do. We've done everything that we're being required to do, and so is the developer. So with that, unfortunately, we need to move forward.
So if this passes and we have another storm like we had here a couple of months ago, and the Skinner's property floods, that's it. Game, set, match. The developers are not responsible in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
That's a legal question, I think, that had to be answered, but to give the fundamentals, it's been designed and built as agreed to and has been signed off by the engineers for both the city and as well as the state's been involved too. So it's a tough situation, but we have to move forward.
Any other discussion? Okay. Alderman Coates?
Aye.
Alderman No.
No.
Alderman Waldron?
Abstain.
Vice Mayor Brown?
Aye.
I vote aye. Resolution passes. Moving on to the consent agenda. Need a motion to approve or deny?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? New business, first reading ordinance 2020-24, an ordinance to amend Title I, Chapter 1, Section 1-105 of the Laverne Municipal Code regarding dates of elections. Need a motion to approve or deny?
I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Coates. Alderman Coates?
Aye.
Alderman No?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown?
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution 2020-19, a resolution to accept the following subdivisions: Cottages of Lake Forest Phase 6A, Cottages of Lake Forest Phase 6B, and Hollandale Estates Phase 70. This received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission on November 24th, 2020. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve from Alderman Coates. Need a second?
A second.
Second from Vice Mayor Brown. Any discussion? Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
I vote aye. Resolution passes. Moving on to appoint or remove committee members. First, we have the Library Board. This is the City Council position. Board will need to nominate a person for that.
I make a motion to appoint Alderman Waldron.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Alderman Coates.
Aye.
Alderman No.
Aye.
Alderman Waldron.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Aye.
Motion passes. Then moving on to B, the Laverne Housing Authority. Term for Patricia Williams McLean expired on the end of November. She would like to stay on the Housing Authority, so I will appoint her to that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? She is reappointed. And moving on to Stormwater, the Stormwater Appeals and Advisory Board, the council position is vacant. I nominate Alderman Waldron for that position. Is there a second?
A second.
Second from Vice Mayor Brown. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on to Mayor and Alderman comments. Alderman Waldron.
It's good to be back. And appreciate everybody. And I want everybody to keep the Boner family in their prayers. They've had some sickness in the family. And remind everybody it's a good time to winterize your automobile and your home. Check your antifreeze and make sure that you got all your outside water spigots covered up. And remember your pets when it gets cold. Remember your pets, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Coates?
I say it was, the ceremony for the canine officer was very good. I appreciate going to it and being part of that, and it was very well attended and it was very well put together. And also just like to, everyone to come out for Christmas at the parade.
Wonderful. Thank you. Alderman No?
Yes. To add on to Alderman Coates, the parade starts at 6 p.m. Guys come out. I think you're really going to enjoy this Grinch bunch. He is married, got 3 children, got all kind of things going on with that mess. So come out and see the Grinch in the Clauses. And Bruce, help me out. The lady that, don't mean to be Debbie Downer here, her name's escaping me, the lady, she was on our senior board for like 20-some years. She passed away today, and I cannot for the life of me remember her name. Is it Jones?
I think it was K. Jones.
Kay Jones, that is correct. Kay Jones. She passed away today, and the ladies, the senior's going to kill me for forgetting her name, but I wanted to mention it. She was on the senior board for over 20 years. So, last thing, David talked about it, guys. Hot chocolate and cookies will be at the lighting of the Christmas tree. So, come down to City Hall this Saturday night and get some hot chocolate and cookies.
Thank you, sir. Vice Mayor Brown?
Just want to wish everyone that celebrates Christmas a Merry Christmas, and if you celebrate Hanukkah, a Happy Hanukkah, and if you celebrate any other holiday I'm not familiar with, I hope that you enjoy your time with your family then as well.
Thank you. Well, I want to announce it here since it was announced earlier today on TV and in the press, but Governor Lee announced that Gutter Glove will be coming to the city of Laverne. This is a project the state has been working on. It's bringing about 85 new jobs to the community. Each of those jobs are averaging $52,000 a year, and it is a $5.4 million capital investment here in Laverne. This is going to be part of the Park 24 complex, so more jobs, more opportunity for people. Again, it's showing the strength and diversity of our workforce and business-friendly policies all across the state and here in Laverne. I want to welcome everyone out. Saturday night, we've got the Parade of Lights. We've got quite a few entries, and it is always a fun time. I believe the Sheriff's Department's going to have some horses out there. The Grinch will be there, Mr. and Mrs. Claus. We'll have the tree lighting, some music, and fireworks. So it'll be absolutely fun time. I urge everyone to come out. Let's have a great time. Let's be safe. So think, but let's have a good time as well. Wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I hope you have a great night. Call this meeting adjourned.